Hello and good evening. I hope you had yourselves a wonderful end of the week, and thank you for joining us here on Rwanda Television. Now, these are our headlines tonight. National carrier Rwanda has announced that the first cargo plane arrived in Kigali on Thursday and will be flying to some African and Asian countries. The Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagements today, Thursday, launched 3 books constituting of researches on the genocide perpetrated against the Tutsi in Kigali. We're very glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali. My name is Martina Avera. Now, the national carrier Rwanda has announced that the first cargo plane arrived in Kigali on Thursday and will be flying to some African and Asian countries. We have the report.
The Boeing aircraft arrived in Rwanda on Thursday, where it has the capacity to carry 23 tons. Importers and exporters say they expect this aircraft to solve some of the problems they have been facing.
There are times we book space in Rwanda and find out that there is not enough space because we are many, and then be forced to use Ethiopian airline, which requires us to book a week before, and later there could be other hindrances that leads into delays.
The Minister of Infrastructure, Dr. Simon Ernest, recently told the RBA that Rwanda has sought a solution to these problems by purchasing an aircraft designed to carry cargo.
Hafashwe umwanzuro yuko hagomba gushakwa indege nini yihariye igomba gutwara iyo mizigo cyangwa ibyo dukunda kwita cargo.
We made the decision to purchase a cargo plane because the usual aircrafts carry people and few cargo, yet it has different destinations. Some people have agriculture products to export and other imports goods from outside. So this will make it easier to carry on trade activities. The management of Rwanda says that the aircraft will operate in various destinations in Africa, the Middle East, and the United Arab Emirates. The National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda indicates that in the month of September this year, goods worth more than 84 million Rwandan francs were imported, while goods worth more than 51 billion Rwandan francs were exported. Adams Kwizera, RTV News.
Thank you, Adam Kwizera, for that report. Now, let us also inform you that on Thursday, President Paul Kagame arrived in Niamey, Niger, where he will attend the African Union Extraordinary Summit on Industrialization and Economic Diversification, hosted by President Mohamed Bazoum of Niger. Now, the Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement today, Thursday, launched 3 books constituting of researches on the genocide perpetrated against the Tutsi in Kigali. Chris Manzi has the report.
These researchers focus on the genocidal plan since 1959. They demonstrate the role played by the chiefs and politicians in the implementation of genocide and calling out citizens to participate in it. Some of the youth present at the launch say that they learned a lot.
Like us young people who use social media, we have to tell the truth, genocide deniers, as well as change the perspective of those who see Rwanda in the wrong way.
I learned a lot about the history that some of us don't know. And there's also a way we will have to access them through memorials, schools, and other places. The Minister of National Unity and Civic Engagement, Dr. RwandaTV, states that such researchers do not focus only on those who play part in the genocide, but also on the heroism of those who saved the targeted population. In the researches we do, we not only focus on the genocidaires, but also those who saved the targeted population. There are Hutu who were heroes in those difficult situations and still managed to save the Tutsi. Such researches are explained to the youth for them to understand more about their country. Minister Dr. RwandaTV states that all schools at the district level should have a plan of facilitating students to visit memorials.
Now, on Thursday, the Annabelle Belgium Development Agency published 3 studies on adolescent health in Rwanda. The research findings revealed that Nyarugenge district has the highest number of young people who drink alcohol, more than any other district of the 7 districts surveyed. Olive Nete has the report.
The research done was under the project named Barame and focused on 3 various categories, including prevalence of drugs and substance abuse amongst adolescents, knowledge adolescents has about sexual and reproductive health, and the assessment of the quality of youth corners and other related youth-friendly services. Uwase Nadia, one of the young ladies who access services provided by youth corners, said that it assists her in knowing more on reproductive health. It helps me to understand more on sexual reproductive health. It also assists us to dream for a better tomorrow, as well as not fall into different temptations, because after acquiring these skills, you get to know how to behave. Some of the findings of this study include the fact that those under the age of 18 still have very low knowledge about reproductive health, and that the use of alcohol and drugs, such as cannabis, continues to be at the top of what is used by young people. Nyarugenge district has been shown to have a lot of young people who use alcohol, where they are at 23%, and the use of cannabis and other drugs is over 20% in this district. Veronique Zinen, intervention manager of Barame project, points out some of the recommendations to prevent these challenges. We noticed that those who continue to study consume less compared to people who have been expelled from schools or who are no longer in schools. So there is a big difference. We also noticed that when parents support their children and teach them, they also use less alcohol and drugs. It is true that many young people want to try drinking or smoking. Yes, some of them do not continue, but many of them will continue consuming drugs and alcohol. So these are the people who need to be protected and prevented from being addicted. The Minister of Health, Dr. Daniel Ngamije, points out that the research will assist in elaborating better strategies to help adolescents and also establish a baseline in order to develop specific activities aimed to address the identified gaps on adolescents' health.
In
schools, youth are taught about the sexual reproductive health. But we have to strengthen the collaboration between schools and local health centers, for health center staff to help teachers in addressing issues mostly found in youth, including early pregnancies, how they can help them, and teach them on how to prevent such issues.
The studies were carried out in 7 districts, namely Gisagara, Rulindo, Gakenke, Karongi, Nyamasheke, Rusizi and Nyarugenge, and targeted young people aged between 13 and 24 years of age. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thank you, Olive Nete, for that report. Now moving on, women doing cross-border business in Rusizi district say they are happy with the progress they have been able to achieve thanks to partner organizations that care for their needs. However, some of the leaders of these organizations say that there is a gap in their operation, something that still hinders productivity. Sam Kalisa has the report.
The increase in number of organizations supporting women who do cross-border trade in the area have been proportionate to the problems they face in their business, as some of them told RBA. We ask Congolese to help us sell our products. Whether you make profit or loss, you do not have any other choice. Sometimes I buy fish for resale, and when I get there, the soldier forced me to give them some of the fish, and you can understand that this is a big loss. However, they appreciate the importance of these different organizations that look after their interests, as some of the problems they face in their line of work have been solved. For example, Profam established a representative for traders in DRC, and when something like this happens, they help you or do advocacy for you. However, even though these women say this, on the side of these organizations, they point out that there is still a gap in their operations that limits their activities to expand and to reach as many beneficiaries as they should. According to Asemerapis Mugisha, the coordinator of the project that aims to build the capacity of women doing cross-border trade, Profam Twese Hamwe.
First of all, to exchange views on what we do as Profam or as any other organization working with the district, and to share information on what we are doing and our plans. So Prof. Amit Kwesamwe presented on the activities that we've been performing, and also the challenges and also the plans that we are handling or we are covering this December and also a few months next year.
Basemera Peace Mugisha also noted that the meeting brought together the leaders of all these organizations and that they pledged to improve their performance with the help of district administration.
We agreed as a meeting to share the database with the district, Rusizi district, so that from the database, the district can guide us whether there is no duplication among the members or the beneficiaries. So after sharing the database, for Prof. Amit Kwesamwe, we had shared the database. But with the other stakeholders, we agreed that we have to share the database so that the district can own the database and also strategically determine which people are supposed to be assisted or to be facilitated in cross-border trade.
Currently, there are more than 5 organizations that support women who do cross-border business in Rusizi district. This is something that, if done well, would reach more beneficiaries and contribute to solving some of the issues affecting cross-border trade in the region.
The Rwanda Coding Academy, which school that combines the general academic programs, technical vocation and trainings, on Thursday revealed some of their achievements since its establishment in the last 4 years, which coincided with signing memorandums of understanding with their key stakeholders. Adam Kwizera has the report.
The Rwanda Coding Academy was established in 2019 as a response to the recommendations of the Rwanda Digital Talent Policy, as it was approved by the government of Rwanda in April 2018. The Director General of the RwandaTV board, Engineer Paul Mukunzi, indicates the role this school played in the development of technology in Rwanda. We are very proud that the students who graduated from this school have already started working on important technology projects. I think you have seen one project that our student presented and managed to get donors who want to invest millions of dollars in that project. I think it is the first time in the country we see a Rwandan child doing such project, which attracted foreigners. As you can see that there will be a lot that will be done in this field of technology in our country. In these discussions, the Rwanda Coding Academy revealed one of their long-term projects, which are dedicated to increase the capacity development of this school, including the construction of the new campus, which is scheduled to kick off in May 2023. Dr. Eliong Chiong, the project manager of the Rwanda Coding Academy, called on various institutions and partners to cooperate in the development of technology.
There are many the projects done by students. So I already mentioned to World Bank, if they want to accelerating digital policy project in Rwanda, work together with RTV and RCA, then student to develop outreach program led by student project. It will be very helpful, useful to encourage the many people to learn and access to the ICT area.
In this event, the Rwanda Coding Academy signed a memorandums of understanding with the private sector to strengthen their collaboration in the development of Rwanda Digital Talent Policy. Adam Kwizera, RTV News.
Thank you, Adams, for that report. Now moving on, the Rwanda Foods and Drugs Authority urges buyers to provide information on where they suspect substandard products. On the other hand, traders and entrepreneurs point out that they incur losses when the FDA calls out some of their products off the market without providing all the necessary details. Chris Manzi with more.
In different times, there were announcements recalling some products off the market due to low quality. Some of the sellers and entrepreneurs demonstrate that when the announcements of recalling off the market are not detailed well to the citizens, they fall into loss.
Iyo bahagaritse baraprecisa bakavuga ifite ikibazo.
When they recall off the product, they precise and state the batch numbers with low quality, the manufactured and expiring date. When we find that we are selling the said batch numbers, we take them off. When we find the ones that we have were not stated, we continue selling them. The challenge is that when citizens hear the name, they think that the whole product is off the market.
Izina bagahita bavuga ngo ya product yose yahagaritswe.
Because there are some of the products that need to be taken gently while being transported or stocked, sellers and entrepreneurs have some requests. Some of the products are to be transported in a cold temperature for the maintenance of their quality, and some require to be transported in a hot temperature. So all these are to be put into consideration. The Food Import and Export Control Analyst in the Rwanda Foods and Drugs Authority, Nicole Mutimukeye, states that if any product is recalled off the market, buyers should pay more attention to details of the announcements.
There
is what we call batch numbers. We would like to request citizens to pay attention on the stated batch numbers because they are the ones with issues. We value the information given to us because anything introduced in the human body can affect them in one way or another. The time between when we were alerted and the releasing of the recalling of announcement is short because we cannot be taking the risk of investigating first. Instead, we first take the product off the market.
Ntago dushobora gufata risk yo kuvuga ngo tubanze dufate wa mwanya wo kureba niba ari byo koko tuzabone kugikura ku isoko. Twe twihutira kubanza kukimanura.
The Rwanda Foods and Drugs Authority demonstrate that there are some cases of imported products that are damaged during transportation.
Tuba tunashishikariza abacuruzi kumenya ubwoko bw'igicuruzwa cyangwa ikiribwa ari kuzana.
We urge the entrepreneurs to indicate the type of products they are importing. They should also indicate that this product is to be kept in special conditions or that it is for short duration so that it can be given priority.
Bitewe nuko bohereje ibyangombwa byabo icyo ngicyo kiba cyumvikana ko ari ikintu cyakagombye guhabwa priority.
The Ministry of Infrastructure has previously revealed that Rwanda has bought a cargo plane to prevent the damaging of products due to long transportation distance. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
And on behalf of the news production team, we thank you for watching RTV News. Have a great night and stay safe.